Charlie and I have developed through our many adventures from around the world.
Ultimately, we sculpted better versions of ourselves and those dark skies faded.
We hope this inspires you all to do the same. So, where did it all begin? Growing up here in Toronto has been amazing. The city is full of all colorful walks of life, but I just felt like something was always missing in my life. Later on, I got diagnosed by the silent killer we all know as depression. And those days were tough. Some days were even tougher. But travel was the only thing that could fill that void and bring an abundance of light into that darkness.
Growing up in South London, you know, with a loving family, being one of 6 kids, and where we were all given everything we could ever wish for, couldn't have been any better. But despite that, I always found myself struggling to deal with my emotions.
We believed that this reunion had to be in Iceland. It's like another world down there. And that's where we wanted to document the process, you know, present the journey to you guys and showcase to the world how interacting with different types of people and friends from around the world can make such an impact and do far more than you can imagine.
But I guess like with traveling, it helps me forget those dark memories, those ill thoughts, and instead like replace them with uplifting ones. You know, from where I'm just surrounded by so much positivity and light.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Okay, so we're here at the rental company. We've got our wonderful Dacia Duster here. Charlie's already thought of a name. What's the name, Charlie?
Darlene?
Darlene. Do you want to say the British accent? Darlene. She looks like a Darlene. I mean, this is going to get us through the F roads.
For me, it's still difficult to talk about. Like, I'm still like, you know, I find it hard to bring my emotions to words as such. For me, it's like, although I have like all my family, like the people I love, people who love me around me, I still feel alone being able to talk about these things. You know, I get nervous, I get anxious. I guess it started because of like a situation I went through like 3 years ago. You know, I had my life set for me, I had my future planned out, and it didn't go accordingly. And I think it just broke me to the point where I didn't know what to do with my life. I didn't know what to do with myself. You know, I was isolating myself by doing it, and even still, like back home, like all I do is just work. Like I rarely go out. When I do, like my mind's sidetracked. You know, like my mind's elsewhere because I just want to get out of England as such. Yeah, I'm done.
I knew this time would come where I'd have to essentially explain my depression and where it all began. And at times now, better time as any. Growing up, you know, I had an amazing family. I still do. Love them to death, you know, my parents, my brothers. You know, I get that people go through things with finances, work, school, different things that trigger your, I guess, everybody goes through depression in some ways, right? But there's a chemical imbalance and things like that. And I never knew about any of that stuff. And growing up, you know, I think I could speak for a lot of people. Mental health was not on the rise as it is now. And it's good that people are bringing it to light, because there's a lot of folk that suffer from it. For me, it was different. I would wake up and I would just feel horrible for the day. I'd feel like something's dragging me down. Like, I don't want to get up, I don't want to eat, I don't want to do anything. And you know, it made life tough, and it does make it still. And I couldn't explain it. I just thought, oh, maybe I'm having a bad day, maybe I woke up on the wrong side. But there was so many days, and it became so consistent that it made life super difficult. I didn't have many outlets to even, like, you know, talk to. And I guess even growing up, like in my house too, like, you know, it wasn't a thing that people knew essentially as well, like, you know, about depression, how to deal with it and how to talk about it. And even then, I think even when it comes to talking, I think people should be there to lend a hand. But at the end of the day, it's the person's, you know, the individual's personal journey. And later on, finally, I, you know, manned up. I was like, I'm gonna go figure out what's wrong. And you know, I got diagnosed with depression, anxiety, and I was told to take pills. I denied it. Been denying it for many years. This is my personal thing, no offense people that do take it. I just never ever wanted to get dependent on them. I don't want to pop a happy pill and be like, yeah, let's go for the day. We are set to go. You know, I want life to power me. I want it to move me. And that's why I just hesitated on taking them, and it made it bad, I'm not gonna lie, because it was just me and my thoughts. And I was in like a war, a battlefield with just me and an army that I conjured up. Think about it. And that army is just filled with negative thoughts and, you know, circumstances that don't even exist. And I couldn't find a way out, you know, and I was being, I guess you could say, stubborn, not taking the pills. And I finally found something, you know. It was travel. I could happily say that travel saved me. And like, the emotions that I feel when I'm on the road is even looking at everything right now, like the mountains around me, it's absolutely unbelievable. Sorry.
Before this trip began, a lot of people would ask me, like, why go back to Iceland? And for me, it's like the nature. You could be in one environment, you know, you go from one environment to the next, and like, you know, so versatile. You know, you could be alongside the ocean like 1 minute, and then the next minute you can be up in the mountains, or driving through like volcanic like wastelands and such, and it's just all so scenic. And I guess I'm able to just lose myself in the nature. All your thoughts just clear. Iceland's helped me for sure. You know, like it's been a like, spiritual journey for like Sard and I. But for me, it's got to be up there with like one of the top memories to think back on. You know? I've learned a lot each trip. I learned something new about myself, and it improves me. I just hope it improves you, or helps to improve you. So, yeah.
I love Iceland. I'll come back here anytime, any day. You know, just to see that beauty, that you could go off the beaten path, and you find like your own little hidden gems. You know, it's just, no matter where you go here, you always seem to like fall into some sort of beauty. You know, it's literally like something out of like a movie scene.
Through travelling, I've learned this, that despite feeling so alienated and being alone, I never have been. There's always been someone there at my side. I guess I just hope that this inspires people to be more open about themselves, or give them the strength to at least talk about them to other people. This has been a journey of two souls that will tell a journey beyond our two souls.
So to conclude everything, you know, Beyond Two Souls has been one of my biggest blessings in my life. I've always wanted to do it and always wanted to document something like this and to tell my story. I was nervous too, didn't know if I was ready, didn't know if I was mature enough to even tell it. But I think now is the right time, and you know, going around the world, around Asia, I learned things. I learned around the entire world. I learned in Asia how to be independent, how to be comfortable in my solitude. In South America, I discovered that the eternal youth, that if I continuously do experiences, I can feel like I'm young still. I can acknowledge that I am, you know, feeling like I'm not growing, because in a way I am. Like I'm just indulged in it into the moment. And Central America was, you know, another massive achievement for me. And you know, everything was done like not chronologically, but it taught me certain things. And after Africa, it was just like I knew something was starting to click. You know, as I was going through my conflicts, it all started to make sense. And Iceland, where do I begin with Iceland? It's one of those places you go that changes your life for the better and forever. It transformed who I was. I learned about patience and how I tend to get, you know, disappointed or mad, you know, through my depression. I'd little things that would affect me. I told myself that it was normal to. It was okay to feel this way. It was alright to feel changes in your life and to just adapt to it and be like water. And as things went on, it definitely cemented it into place. And going through various volcanoes, you know, natural habitats in terms of like lava fields and glaciers and oceans and, you know, different terrain. I felt like I was going through various levels of myself, and I totally felt in tune. And it all made sense. It all made sense to me that when you do something one day, Saad, it's gonna involve traveling. You're gonna wanna be that alter ego you created, Wanderlust. You will explode into, you know, various opportunities that you have passions for, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise, that you won't accomplish these things. Because to me, materialistic things such as cars and houses and having the best, you know, anything, and comparing yourself to other people will not mean anything at the end. Because those things you don't take those things with you at the grave. It's everything else. It's experiences. It's the moments where you feel most alive. It's the times where you feel like you're about to die, you're on the edge, and you're on the edge of a cliff, and you live. You feel everything. And I just want to be able to inspire people. I want to be able to touch someone's heart in a sense where I went through it, and if someone like me who felt like the world was ending at times can do it, I know that it's possible for everyone else, because everyone's fighting their own battle at the end of the day. And I think that once you learn that and you acknowledge it, you can truly feel the other person's soul and how they tend to react to certain things. And you know, leaving Iceland is going to be difficult for me, and it's been like a safe haven for me and a place where I feel like myself, but I know it's not the place. You know, it's not the destination, it's the journey, you know, it's the constant growth. And I hope that everyone watching this documentary can realize that, you know, Beyond Two Souls is just about us being able to relate to people, and for them to understand that you don't have to be stuck in a certain place, a certain moment, a certain relationship, a certain lifestyle. You make your own path, your own destiny. You decide what's going to happen to yourself. And I hope myself who's listening in the future right now, which I know I'm going to go through hard times. I know I've learned to fight it now, but I know depression is like allergies, like I said before. It comes and goes. Don't give up. Don't. I didn't. Neither should you. Keep fighting. Keep doing what makes you happy. And chase that dream that you've held on to. Because I know nowadays, nobody tends to do that. They adapt to what's around their lifestyle. And I hope that the future child that's listening and all those people out there, do what makes you happy, man. Girls out there, men, anyone, chase your passion, because at the end of the day, you will not take these things, these physical things you hold into the grave. It's only what's in here, and you'll learn to adapt to that. I hope that's all that I can know from this documentary, and it's been tough to put into words, but I know at the end of the day, the people that are watching this, and I hope it touches them and it changes them, it moves them, it sets them in a certain path where don't let people tell you otherwise. You control your own destiny, and you as a soul will manifest whatever you choose to be. That's all. Thank you.